Hey everybody, welcome to my top 5 video on my favorite rock types. We did steel a few days ago, but we're going to start with rock today, and I'm hoping you enjoyed this video. We're going to start off with number 5, and this Pokemon goes back a ways, actually. And it is Sudowoodo. Now, what I like about Sudowoodo is, one, it was Brock's Pokemon. In one of the animes because he had a Bonsai that evolved. He had a Bonsai that evolved, I think, in the Sinnoh journeys. But it's got sturdy rock head, which are some really good abilities. But I actually like Sudowoodo's abilities. Decent stats, sucks at special attack, defense, and speed. So it's more of a physical move set type Pokemon. And I mean, it's got a great set of skills with it, going with it. Sudowoodo was one of my favorite Pokemon in the Colosseum game when it came out because it was Mirabee's first Shadow Pokemon, and it was the hardest thing to catch because you had to beat all those Ludicolo, and there was no way of beating them unless you had a Ampharos and Noctowl. But hey, Sudowoodo is a good Pokemon, and rightfully deserves its 5th place spot on my list. Moving on, we have Pokemon that could have made my last list, and I believe I mentioned it. It is Agron. Now, Agron fits this list better than that's a Steel type, only because I don't use Rock types that much. And Agron's one of those Pokemon that I caught at the beginning of my Emerald journey, and I kept it the entire way. Evolved it into an Agron. Battled Steven. He had an Agron. I'm like, this is cool. And I got the Mega Evolution, and it's just a pain in the butt. And yeah. Well, as most rock types, it has sturdy and rock head. And then heavy metal, it's kind of weird because doubling the weight, that's just asking for a submission, not submission. And grass knot or something to come and trip you up. So it's got good abilities. It has super high defense, as a rock and steel type should. Special attacks and speed are really slow, of course, because it's a rock and steel. And it's got really good physical attacks that make it pretty powerful, and I really just like the overall theme and design of this Pokemon. Moving on to number 3, we have another powerhouse Pokemon. It has a Mega Evolution. It is Tyranitar. Now, what is so great about Tyranitar is, first time I saw it, I think was in the Celebi Pokemon movie. And I really liked it, and it looked cool, and it was powerful, and because it was like a dark Tyranitar or whatever it was. Also, it's a Shadow Pokemon on Colosseum or XD, I can't remember which one, and I really liked it in that. It's really cool. It's got great stats. It's got a good stat base all around. I'm pretty sure it's a pseudo legendary, but someone will have to correct me on that. Great HP. And attack, as well as defense and special defense, and that speed stat is just 61, but you don't need it when you can take hits like anything. And it's got great moves to match the style. You can play it special, you can play it physical, although most people prefer to play it physical because there's such a better move set for it. Alright, moving on to number 2, we got a rock fire type. I believe it's the only one. And that is MCCargo. Now, MCCargo has one super effective weakness, and that is ground, and it's very common, and that's why it's really hard to play. But MCCargo was one of the Pokemon I had on my Fire Chrome team when I played Alpha Sapphire. No, when I played Omega Ruby, because I have Ruby. Yeah. When I played Omega Ruby, it was one of my Pokemon that was on my fire team. Speed stat's terrible, attack is crap, but defense is high, special attack and special defense are even, and that's pretty basic. It has a lot of a physical move set, which really doesn't go well with its stats, so it's probably better just to take a loss in special attack and try to get this attack up. But, you know, MCCargo is MCCargo, and it served its purpose on my team. and it always died really quickly just when I threw it against ground types. Alright, before we go to number 1, we're gonna look at my only honorable mention, and it's not on this list because it's on my ice list, and that's Aurorus. And I said all the stuff about Aurorus in my ice video, so please go watch that. Now Aurorus, if I weren't doing you can't have the same Pokemon happen again, Aurorus would take over this place of Sawoodo on this list, just because Sawoodo was kind of like a pitch hit put in there just because it was cool when it had some significance to me. But Aurorus is just a cool Pokemon. I like its design. I like its shiny. It's cool, and it's got a great rock ice typing that I love, and it's got great stats and great move set, and it's just a great all-around Pokemon. So moving on to our number 1 slot, we have everybody's favorite rock and flying type, the Aerodactyl. And Aerodactyl does have a Mega Evolution, which is killer, and I love using Aerodactyl because it's just so good with a Pokemon. I used it in my Pokemon Y playthrough. The last one I did with an even-based team, and it was a killer. Great speed stat, which is what I really like, and especially for a rock type, like that's the best speed a rock type has ever had. It doesn't really match the typing of rock since it has no real boost in defense here, but I'm thinking that maybe that speed stat should be like 100 and maybe make that special defense or defense go up to around 90, 95, one of those areas. But it's a great Pokemon to have. The Mega Stone makes it powerful. Shiny kind of looks stupid, but it's not there. Moveset. It's got a great set of movesets, and if you get this ancient power going, you're going to kill people very fast. It doesn't have very many flying type moves that are good with it, but most people put fly on it when you're doing gameplay, so it has its uses. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed my top 5 favorite rock types. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this list, and make sure you tell me which one is your favorite. Until next time, I'm Chaos Man 006, and I'll smell you later.